Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today for the new episode. This episode is going to be something different, something I'm going to try to post it a bit more often and move away from original idea of the podcast. I believe this is something I'm trying to find for a long time during the last year because right now we have so many podcasts, so many information, so many posts online. So the idea of the newest episodes, they're supposed to be shorter, no longer than 15 minutes, so everyone able to listen and focusing on some news that happens around the world. So in today's episode, we're going to be speak about AI. What actually happens on 5th of February in the morning? I got email with the title: "Deepfakes are about to get out of control, like 10 times better out of control." And when I started reading, I realized that it is new model released. This colleague OmniHuman-1. My first thought was, who is going to be the best person to ask questions and answer on them? And of course, as you remember from my previous episode with Konstantin, who is super professional in AI and data industry, and it's a reason why I invite him today. Hello, Konstantin.
Hello, Evan.
We have a list of questions, and thank you, Konstantin, for prepare them. And we're going to be raised a lot of the concerns about OmniHuman-1
Mhm.
because it seems like switch our industry and really affects on the fraud prevention and KYC and customer verifications. Because yeah, it's a huge update which was announced by Dance, which is a TikTok parent company. Let me to start with first questions. What is the essence of OmniHuman-1 technology and why it is caused such a stir in professional community?
Well, actually, OmniHuman-1 is the new model developed by ByteDance, capable of bringing people to life in a video using just a single photo and some audio input. And it does it so convincingly that many people are literally left speechless when they see the result, and it's available on the website for the demonstration. But unlike the classic deepfakes, which often rely on GANs, this is generative adversarial networks, OmniHuman-1 uses a diffusion-based approach.
Yeah, for someone who is not familiar with the main idea behind OmniHuman, and I link it to the this episode, some link at actually of the model, and everyone can read it through. But the main idea behind it, correct me if I'm wrong, that's created something that's first allow you to create happy birthday card for I know for your parents using one photo and entering the photo like kind of like TikTok video, but what we realize it's actually become something much bigger than simple video present gift that's possible created from this model.
Absolutely.
And how big is the threat to remote ID system and KYC process? After all, many KYC platforms have switched to video verification.
Well, yeah, but it's actually quite serious. In some jurisdictions in Europe, like in Germany, Spain, India, when remotely opening an account or using like financial services, you must provide a live video. And the user shows, in this case, the ID on the camera, they read the code, they turn their head, and etc., etc. And the idea was of that KYC systems to identify if a static photo demonstrated instead of live face. But now with powerful models like OmniHuman-1, one could theoretically pre-generate kind of video that performs all these movements. And although OmniHuman-1 currently doesn't operate in real time, fraudsters can still insert a pre-recorded video. So it just makes it easier for the attackers.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but right now, as you mentioned, a lot of companies they require the live video, but the sequence of actions actually is the same in majority of them. They didn't change sequence between sessions. What I mean at the dots one, if I plan to verify myself on account, they likely ask me the same actions like turn right, left, up, and down. And if I can pre-record it, it's I believe very small percent of the companies around the world who change the sequence of these actions. What's your
Mhm.
opinion about it?
Well, yep. Usually the procedures are really interactive and predictable, like they ask to blink, turn your head, and so on. But in practice, many services simply ask you to turn your head in profile or move your head closer to the camera and so on and so forth. So like simple sequence of movements. Those steps are often known in advance, and if workflow is predictable, then OmniHuman can craft a fake clip of the victim's synthetic liveness doing exactly what the system expects, or close to what the system expects.
So this is actually how like pre-generated video can fool such checks on the first in the first place, because it's generally speaking video recorded for requirement for the video.
Absolutely, it just simplifies the job of fraudsters.
Yeah, they have so hard job nowadays. Should we be afraid that criminals will use OmniHuman-1 in real time, effectively impersonate someone else during a live bank call?
Well, um, at the moment, well, the good news is that at the moment, OmniHuman-1 isn't a fully real-time solution, actually. So generating such realistic animations requires like significant computing power, time. So doing it on the fly, it's still challenging. On the other hand, technology is evolving, and there are already applications that let you swap faces even in real time in Zoom. And if OmniHuman developers eventually roll out a live version of this model, that would be a whole different level of threat. For now, the main danger is offline, pre-recorded deepfake video.
But if we're thinking about like about TikTok in general, and I believe the main idea behind this model that's in the long term they're supposed to be live, because it's going to be a live video presented on TikTok when you can switch something or create the music. So it's eventually happens. The question is how long it's going to take.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
And in their documentation, developers emphasize that it is not JN but a different model, implying in completely different. Does this mean traditional deepfake direction won't identify it?
Well, yeah, they definitely identify themselves that not a deep fake, but it's still a deep fake. Both the generative adversarial networks and diffusion models that they explore are simply they are different architectures, but they generating the same synthetic content. And modern detection systems usually focus on general features of synthetic media, such as pixel level artifacts or unnatural facial movements. Uh, However, diffusion models can produce actually high quality output compared to GANs, which may reduce the effectiveness of all the detection methods. So we just must keep this deepfake detection methods up to date.
Since you already mentioned what how we can detect things, what can be done to protect KYC processes from such realistic models?
Well, I believe several steps required here. First, improve the liveness detection. Use deepfake attack detection modular. Second, adopt injection attack detection. While OmniHuman is highly convincing, but it's still digital video, so it's not real. So it must be injected into the system, avoiding the direct presentation to the physical camera. And the injection attack detection is the technique that allows to detect if the video coming from the physical camera, from the physical lens, or injected from third-party source like JavaScript injection or virtual camera or hardware stick which imitates the camera and so on. So injection attack detection would definitely work in this case.
And from the health perspective, can legislation protect us from such technologies, or we are doomed to fight deepfakes alone?
Well, that's definitely a great question. Well, some countries have laws requiring that AI generated content to be labeled. So people know it was created by AI. There are another kind of initiatives like responsible AI to ensure developers don't release powerful tools publicly without like adequate safety measures and so on. So if ByteDance will be aligned with these requirements, they put a label or some watermark into the video. At the same time, if the model is leaked or copied, I believe the dark web developers reproduce the same generation quality without any labeling.
That's what I thought in the first place. Since it's already public, I believe everyone copy all necessary information, and they provided very explanatory documentation about the model. So it definitely already someone working on something big using this opportunity. And plus, we have so many photos and videos with the real people in internet nowadays. So compromise or just copy something from your social network, combine this one with knowledge of your phone number and email address that's from your compromised email address, going to be pretty huge and a very powerful system at the end. And how ethical actually is to have such models?
Well, it's actually a very good question as well. It's a pressure issue, I believe. Where do we draw a line between the breakthroughs in computer graphics and undermining trust in any photo or video? In a positive context, OmniHuman could be used for educational purposes, filming, gaming, interactive media, and so on and so forth. But there is also a serious dark side, impersonating people, spreading fakes, compromising videos, and passing KYCs as well. As with any like cutting edge technology, context matters, along with transparency about how it's being used. Developers should address these risks openly, so society may eventually develop a stronger sense of media literacy, I believe. But yes, the rapid pace of these advances is alarming because misuse can be easy.
What advice would you give to organizations that already use video-based biometrics and worry about being decisive?
Well, for KYC providers, for their customers, like banks, financial institutions, etc., I'd recommend at least three steps. First, upgrade your anti-spoofing. Use modern deepfake detection that protects not only against guns but against the diffusion methods as well. Injection attack detection that I mentioned it because at the end, this is digital artifact. This is digital content that should be injected around the physical camera. So we should have software methods to detect one. Second, regularly stress testing of your systems. Bring in independent experts to see if they can break your defenses with advanced deepfake technology, or develop an internal so-called red team with synthetic attack imitation capabilities. And third, don't rely on a single method of authentication. Security in depth, this is the strategy. The more layers of verification you have, the harder it is to carry out a deepfake attack.
Great advices. Thank you so much for joining us today, for explaining a lot about the new model. I believe we will see a lot about this model and probably future models as well nearby. Until something huge happens, people are going to be postponed to upgrade the system. But I hope sharing this with fraud industry motivate someone to have a look on their existing controls and help them to think what they can upgrade to make sure they're not facing with the consequences of not relying on updating the security systems.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention.